Good morning, children. We'll begin with our next video on nationalism in Europe, and the topic that I'm covering today is the making of Germany. That means how did Germany came to be known as a nation state. In the starting, when we saw about Frederick Soreillu's painting, we learned that Germany was not a part of nation state. In fact, it was under a modern state which was ruled by monarchs, kings and duchies. Understood? So now today we are going to learn about how Germany was being made, and we learn the complete process of making of Germany. Okay, before we start learning about the complete process of making of Germany, let us read this statement. Germany, can the army be the architect of the nation? This is a very big question, that can the army of the king, okay, be the architect of the nation? That means, can they make a nation state? That is the biggest question. Normally when we hear it, we say no, because we felt that monarchs are there only for autocratic rule. They never wanted a particular area to become a nation state. But this did not happen in Germany. Let us see what happened. After 1848, nationalism in Europe moved away from its association with democracy and revolution, and nationalist sentiments were often mobilized by conservatives for promoting state power and achieving political domination over Europe. Now what happened after 1848? Nationalism in Europe was moved away, यानी जो उनका main aim था, उनका main aim क्या था? That to attain democracy, है ना? Every revolution in Europe had a main aim to attain democracy, and for attaining democracy they attempted lot of revolution, yes or no? But slowly and gradually, as you all know, conservatives का क्या plan था? Conservatives thought that to suppress these liberal activities, we have to take care of liberals, है ना? Conservatives ने सोचा कि national activities को suppress करने के लिए we have to take care of liberals. They gave away the serfdoms, they removed the manorial dues, they gave more power to the Habsburg Empire. Okay, so what happened? The main thought of nationalism now became to be known as promoting state power and achieving political domination. Okay, now political domination means each or the other liberal wanted to capture other areas and they wanted to have domination there. This can be observed in the process by which Germany and Italy came to be unified as nation state. Now this can easily be seen that how Germany and Italy, who were not a nation state, they came to be unified later. Okay, let us see. As you have seen, nationalist feelings were widespread among middle class Germans. Yes or no? Middle class Germans were very much into nationalist feeling. They were completely filled because they were influenced by the French Revolution. Okay, who in 1848 they tried to reunite the different regions of the German Confederation into nation state, governed by an elected parliament. Now these German people who were very much influenced with these nationalist sentiments, what did they do? They wanted to unify the German Confederation. German Confederation means German states which are separated, which are available in small parts. They wanted to bring them together and they wanted to unify under one head, and they wanted all these German Confederation to be governed by an elected parliament. Okay, now see, this liberal initiative to a nation building was however repressed by combined forces of monarchy, the military, and supported by large landowners of Prussia. Now what did the reaction of monarchy or the conservatives was when German people said that they want to unite the German Confederation. समझ में आ रहा है क्या? That German people, German liberals, middle class, they wanted to make Germany as a nation state, and while they were trying to combine it, they were being opposed. किसने oppose किया उनको? Monarchy ने oppose किया. Definitely king नहीं चाहेगा कि सब कुछ nation state में बदले, क्योंकि king की power कम हो जाएगी, right? So monarchy opposed it, military rule opposed it, and the large landowners, that is the aristocrats of German, also opposed it. यहाँ MCQ आएगा, large landowners of Prussia के large landowners are called as Junkers. Okay, they also opposed. They said that Germany should not be combined into nation state. Okay, from then on, Prussia took on leadership of the movement for national unification. Now, the large landowners of Prussia were against the unification of Germany. They did not wanted that Germany should be unified as a nation state, but the king of Prussia was in support of that. Hence, Prussian king and his army supported the unification of Germany. MCQ में आएगा, ध्यान रखना है, important है, that Prussian king and his army supported the unification of Germany. Now, who was the main hero in unification? That was its chief minister. Who's chief minister? Chief minister of Prussia. Army का chief minister of Prussia, he is called as Otto von Bismarck. Very, very important, was the architect of this process. That means Otto von Bismarck is also called as architect of unified Germany. Understood? He is also called as architect of Germany. He is also called as architect of unified Germany. Understood? And he carried this unification with the help of Prussian army and bureaucracy. Bureaucracy means the people, those who are loyal to the king here. Okay, there were 3 wars fought over 7 years. Important hai, MCQ mein aayega that how many wars were fought for the unification of Germany. There were 3 wars fought for 7 years. Okay, with whom they fought? They fought it with Austria, they fought it with Denmark, they fought it with France, and ended in Prussian victory, and Prussia ultimately won. So that means when Prussian people won, then Germany can be unified. Okay, and they completed the process of unification. Prussian army under the leadership of Otto von Bismarck, they completed the process of unification, and in January 1871, the Prussian king, the current Prussian king was William I, was proclaimed means was declared as the German emperor in a ceremony held at Versailles. Understood? When Germany was being unified, the Prussian king, obviously Prussia ki army ne help kiya, the king won't let it down. So the Prussian king was declared as the German emperor because he actually worked hard for the unification of Germany. Understood? And this unification happened at the Hall of Versailles. Okay, see, on the bitterly cold morning, yaad rakhna hai, 18 January 1871 was the date of the declaration of the king as the German emperor. Okay, an assembly comprising the princes of the German state, that means on 18 January 1871, the assembly of the princes of the states, who all were combined, then representatives of the army, important Prussian ministers, including the most important minister, that is Otto von Bismarck. They all met at Hall of Mirrors. Yaad rakhna hai naam, Hall of Mirrors of Palace of Versailles. Why did they met? Because their main aim was to declare the new German emperor, and the name of the German emperor was Kaiser William I, who was the king of Prussia. Any doubt? Is that clear? Now see what happened. The nation building process in Germany had demonstrated the dominance of Prussian state power. Now when Germany was getting unified, किसी और ने हेल्प नहीं करी, इसमें nationalist liberals का रोल बिल्कुल मिनिमम था. Who helped in unifying the Germany? That is, army helped in unifying the Germany. Which army helped? That was Prussian army. So when Prussian army helped in unification of Germany, when Germany was being unified, they dominated Germany and they showed their power. Okay, so Germany was completely now under the control of Prussia. Okay, the new state placed a strong emphasis on modernizing the currency. Now the new state, I am talking about the new Germany, which is now a nation state. What did they focused on? They focused on modernizing the currency, yani currency ko modernize karna. They brought banking, they brought legal systems, they brought judicial systems, and slowly and gradually Germany became a model for rest of the nation. Prussian measures, Prussia ने जो measures लिए Germany के लिए, जो practices करी Germany के लिए for its unification, that became a model for rest of the Germany. Understood? This photo is important. This photo is showing the picture of mirror of Hall of Versailles, where various princes of the German states, army members, important army men, including Otto von Bismarck, was also present for declaring whom as the emperor. That was Kaiser William I of Prussia. Any doubt? Okay, now let us talk about Italy unification. Unification of Italy was also a little bit different. Let us see. Like Germany, Italy too had a long history of political fragmentation. That means Italy too was not united. It was also a modern state, and Italy was divided into small parts. That is why it is called as fragments. Okay, Italians were scattered over several dynastic states as well as multinational Habsburg Empire. That means Italy as a nation was not present. People were scattered in different parts of the empire. In fact, they were also present in Habsburg Empire. Yani Italy जो था वो बिखरा हुआ था. The people were not living together in one confined place. Okay, now during the middle of the 19th century, Italy, very important, was divided into 7 states, of which only one, that is Sardinia Piedmont, was ruled by Italian princely house. That means when Italy was divided into 7 states, only a state called as Sardinia Piedmont was ruled by an Italian prince. Okay, rest all the 6 states were ruled by other princes or other monarchs. Understood? Now the north was under Austrian Habsburg. See, north of Italy was under Austrian Habsburg. The center was ruled by Pope, and the southern regions were under the dominion of Bourbon kings of Spain. Understood? Even the Italian language had not acquired one common form because people were not under a same ruler. They did not have a common language to speak. Hence, Italian as a language was not also seen in the people of Italy. It was only related to Sardinia Piedmont. That means Sardinia Piedmont, because it had an Italian ruler. इनके पास Italian ruler था, इसलिए they used to speak Italy. Otherwise, Italian language did not had a common form. Okay, now what happened? During 1830s, Giuseppe Mazzini, you know who is Giuseppe Mazzini? He formed 2 secret societies. He was also an Italian revolutionary. Okay, Giuseppe Mazzini has sought to put together a coherent program for unitary Italian Republic. Now, Giuseppe Mazzini was an Italian revolutionary. His main aim was unification of Italy. He wanted to unify Italy and he wanted to put up an Italian Republic together. He also had formed a secret society called as Young Italy for dissemination of his goals. Dissemination means for achievement of his goals. What was his main goal? His main goal was unification of Italy. Understood? The failure of revolutionary uprising both in 1831 and 1848 meant that now the unification can be happened only by one king, that is Sardinia Piedmont king, and his ruler of Sardinia Piedmont was Victor Emmanuel II. क्योंकि Sardinia Piedmont एक ऐसा state था which was ruled by an Italian prince. After Giuseppe Mazzini ने बहुत try किया, but he was unable to unify Italy. Hence, he moved to Victor Emmanuel II, who was Victor Emmanuel II, who was the prince, who was the king of Sardinia Piedmont. He was ruling Sardinia Piedmont, and he told him that they have to unify Italian states through war. Okay, in the eyes of ruling elites of this region, a unified Italy offered them a possibility of economic development and political dominance. That means the Sardinia Piedmont ruler saw unification of Italy will give him more power, because he has unified Italy, then he would have got a chance to rule Italy. And apart from that, unifying Italy will increase economic development. Hence, he agreed. Now, who took over the main chance? The main chance was taken by Chief Minister Cavour, and he is also known as Count di Cavour. This is the full name of the Chief Minister of Italy. Understood? Who led the movement to unify the regions of Italy. He led the movement, he led the main movement for unification of Italy, and he was neither a revolutionary nor a democrat. That means he was neither a revolutionary, neither he was a democratic person. He was a simple man, but he was very good in speaking. That means he had very good relations with people. Like other wealthy men and educated members of the Italian elite, he spoke French much better than Italian. He did not speak Italian. Although being an Italian chief minister, he did not speak Italian. He spoke French better than Italian. Okay. But through his tactful diplomatic alliance, that means through his talking, his relationship with other countries, with France, Count Cavour and Sardinia Piedmont succeeded in defeating the Austrian forces. They fought a war with along with France, and they defeated Austrian forces. Apart from regular troops, that means apart from having his own troops, Count Cavour के पास खुद के troops थे, but still he wanted more army. Hence he moved to this man called as Giuseppe Garibaldi. Okay, now this man had his own army of volunteers, and all these armed men under the leadership of Giuseppe Garibaldi joined Italy in its unification. Giuseppe Garibaldi is also known as Heroes of the Two Worlds, and he is also known as the leader of Army of Red Shirts. Okay, that means Count Cavour, apart from having Italian army, he also approached Giuseppe Garibaldi for the support. In 1860, they marched into South Italy. Who? The Italian rulers and the Garibaldi's army, okay, and the Kingdom of Two Sicilies, and they succeeded in winning the support of local peasants. In fact, local people also came forward and they supported the unification of Italy. In 1861, Victor Emmanuel II became the king of unified Italy. That means Italy was unified in the year 1861. However, Italian population was very illiterate. They did not know what is going on. They were just blindly supporting the army. Okay, in fact they were unaware about this liberal nationalist ideology ki kya hota hai nationalism. They were unaware about it. Okay, the peasants masses who had supported Garibaldi in southern Italy had never heard of a term Italia, kyunki Italy ke people, most of the Italy was illiterate, hence they never heard the word Italia. So while they were supporting Giuseppe Garibaldi, they never able to understand कि हम इटली के यूनिफिकेशन के लिए काम कर रहे हैं. In fact, they believed that La Talia is Victor's Emmanuel's wife, and they are trying to find him, or they are trying to find her or search her. Understood? Unification of Italy and Germany is very important. Unification of Germany में याद रखना है that who were opposed of unification of Germany, which country supported, who was the king of the unified Germany, who is called as architect of Germany. These are important questions. When unification of Italy आ जाता है, तो Italy was divided into how many states? Which state had only one Italian ruler? And then who was the Italian revolutionary who wanted to unify Italy? That was Giuseppe Mazzini. Then who was the chief minister of this Italian province, that is Sardinia Piedmont, that is Count di Cavour. Count di Cavour is also called as architect of Italy. Okay, then Giuseppe Garibaldi ka yaad rakhna hai, he is called as Heroes of the Two Worlds, and he has an army of red shirts. And what was the meaning of La Talia for the local people? They thought that it is Victor Emmanuel's wife. Understood? I hope the topic is clear. Now the next topic I'll be covering is the strange case of Britain. Till then we have completed all the topics till page number 21 of this book. Okay, revise it properly.